Okay, so I think we should just go ahead and start, and a couple people trying to join. Hopefully they'll be able to, hopefully we'll be able to work that out with them or the connections. But Godwin, I'll let you take it away.
All right, Q.E.D, thanks so much for the opportunity. Yeah, I guess everybody, I can see most names in the participant list. I am familiar with all the names already. But for those who are new here, Godwin France. My Twitter handle goes by Saharan Sub. Like I just reversed Sub-Saharan to Saharan Sub. So that's the name I go by. I'm into STEM education. So I primarily kind of push blockchain technology and its derivative to communities and student bodies as well. So I'm passionate about education because I believe that's a way to move the people forward. And I'm glad to be here and to be hosting this first ever Axies4Africa online Zoom sessions. So we're going to be having a number of them, and I'm so excited about it. One of the things I like most about the diasporan synergy, like the African American community coming together as well. So most of you guys, you realize that there are a lot of African Americans that are going to give the presentation. So this is what gets me excited. Like we're reconnecting. I mean, those of us in the motherland or on the continent, reconnected our brothers in the US and in the diaspora as well. So I feel very excited about this whole setup, and I believe we're going to have something great come out of it. And we have on the line Q.E.D, Logic IQ, and Dopenology. Yeah, so a lot of investors, a lot of guys come to help us learn more about crypto and how to use it to help our stream of income, basically. So I think that is about me, and I'm going to hand over to Dopenology. Over to you, sir.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic morning, or I guess afternoon, wherever you may be located at in the world. Yeah, but as thanks, Goodwin, for that introduction. As you said, I'm happy to be here today. I truly enjoy just in generally teaching about technology. That's dope technology, which is kind of where my name comes from, Dopenology. My background is engineering, but I've been an avid investor in various asset classes for couple of decades now. Everything from real estate to stocks and bonds, things of that nature, and more recently here, cryptocurrency. My brother Q.E.D is the one that actually kind of introduced me to cryptocurrency, and I've just kind of taken it from there and delved deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole of it all. And I'm happy to, if anyone during this session, if you have questions or anything of that nature, feel free to speak up. I am looking to just share whatever knowledge I can pass on to everyone here. Thanks.
All right, thank you. So our next speaker is going to be Logic Q. Is he still on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, great.
What's going on, guys? How you doing? It's Logic, like I said, with the big Q at the end. Been investing in cryptocurrency pretty enthusiastically and aggressively for the last year. I'm also a friend of Dope and Q.E.D, been knowing them for some time as well. And much of what Dope said is the same for me too. You know, have an interest in cryptocurrency and technology, and largely just any sort of investment that can grow my portfolio and increase opportunities for me and my family. So thanks for showing up. We appreciate you being here. I hope that we can share something really helpful today. Just more about me. I have a background in finance. I have a background in law, background in IT as well as a software developer. So I kind of use all those things to hone in and figure out what my investment strategy is going to be. I want to also say that, you know, I'm still a beginner in some ways, so I'm really here to share the knowledge that I've gotten so far in the last year, and to maybe create a shortcut for other people to learn some things more quickly than I have. So appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Q. So basically, as I said in our private meeting, most people here are first time interactors with cryptocurrency and through the game play to earn. So we want to know the basics, and to have a basic understanding, I believe fundamentals are very necessary if you want to build up high up. So we believe that those of you who have experience already could help us have a much easier transition into this asset class and see how best we can use it. Not just playing the game, but knowing how to invest and going forward with that. So I believe, I don't know who's going first. Who's going to go first with the presentation? So yeah, Crypto 101, over to you.
Here we go. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and take it first, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Got a few things for you. Okay, just a minute. And this is just going to be a brief intro. And let me know, everybody should be able to see my screen here. I'll go ahead and start this up. Let me start. Just a little something about cryptocurrency basics. And like I said, guys, feel free to jump in. Like I said, this is something that I've been working on based upon what I've learned so far. Again, I've already told you a little bit about myself. Logic, I'm actually based in the United States in St. Louis, Missouri. I've been a software developer, lawyer, and a business consultant for some time now. I love to invest in crypto. In the US markets as well, I've been doing that for a very long time, but I've been really big into crypto in the last year, and I would say that most of what I do is most of my resources are put into crypto at this point. Another disclaimer is that I am not a financial advisor or financial planner, so of course, nothing that I say here today should be construed as financial advice. It's just really me sharing my information based on my love and experience, as a person who has been actively trading crypto for the last year. So for informational purposes, trading crypto involves significant risk of loss, all that good stuff. You got the disclaimers. So now that we've got that out the way. So first of all, what is a cryptocurrency? And we're coming here at the ground level here, just asking basic questions. So what is a cryptocurrency? It's really just a tokenized asset that represents some sort of value. And you can really assign value to anything you want. But here in this particular case, we are creating a tokenized asset based off of software that represents a token. Sometimes actually a physical token, but anyway. So not all cryptos are created equal though. So there are better coins, there are some that are better blockchains, and there are also bad ones, and there's low quality blockchains. So the great thing about crypto though is that it generally has a low barrier or a low entry for trading. So for retail investors like us, there are low barriers to getting in, and typically you would sign up on a crypto exchange and you'd be able to trade right away. You can pay relatively low barriers of entry and relatively low fees to on-ramp any money you have onto the cryptoverse. So that's really good. Another thing about it, it's decentralized. It's an international transfer of value. There's no borders. So typically with fiat currency, you have the idea of something really being more in a particular bound to a particular country or based in a country or jurisdiction. This stuff here is global. It's all over the world, essentially, as long as you have access to the internet. Another difference is that with cryptocurrency, it's 24/7 trading. So it's trading right now. It was trading 12 hours ago. It's going to be trading in the future anytime you want, instantaneously. So that's different from the traditional stock financial markets that you might know about. So this is 24 hours, 7 days a week. And it is really just a digital representation of value. And it has a lot of uses. It's not just for investment, as we'll come to know. It's about games. You can actually use it to sell art and to develop other ideas. So somebody put a mark there, but okay. And so I'll go ahead and say next, we have a question about what is a blockchain. I mentioned a blockchain, and there's two types of blockchains, at least that I'm familiar with and that I think of right now, and that's currency blockchains and smart contract blockchains. And so a blockchain really is essentially a database that acts as an accounting ledger of some sort. It's a growing list of records, and they're called blocks. and they're linked together using cryptography. So each block contains a cryptographic hash of the previous block, and they're kind of used in a chain, and that's a way to store data and to prove the integrity of data. So that timestamp actually is the technical parts of that. The timestamp proves that the transaction data existed when the block was published in order to get it into this hash and verify integrity. So basically, all that's just to keep a ledger of different types of transactions and people making transactions and trades of that cryptocurrency on that ledger. So there are different types of crypto and different types of blockchains that can be traded. Again, we have the currency blockchain. That's the blockchain that focuses on being a currency. So it's just a ledger for different transactions. That's for blockchains such as we all know about Bitcoin, right? We've probably heard of Litecoin, which is actually a fork of Bitcoin. Things like Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin. We've all heard about Shiba right now. It's really popular. It's popping right now. Another type of blockchain is smart contract. So for this example, I'll say Ethereum is probably the most popular. It's the largest and most popular smart contract currency. Where Bitcoin is simply like a ledger of transactions. It's like digital gold, right? Ethereum allows people to enter into contracts on a blockchain, which gives you currency and programmability and flexibility to execute code. So it's like actually having applications embedded into currency, which is a really exciting way to view and to approach finance. It's revolutionary. So you can do a lot more on the blockchain, like execute different types of tokens and their code. So you might want to, for example, trade a token like something like Uniswap, which is a type of Ethereum ERC20 token. So you ask yourself, why does this matter? It matters because it's important to know what you're investing in. Are you investing in the main blockchain currency, or are you investing in a different type of token that is derived from that particular currency? Some other smart track-based coins are Binance Coin, which I'm sure you might have heard of if you've done any crypto at all, Cardano, Polkadot, Solana, and typically stable coins use something, which are stable coins that we're talking about, maybe somebody can talk about later, but they use smart contracts to peg their value to a particular fiat currency, like the US dollar, euro, or the Japanese yen. So a couple types of cryptocurrency here that we want to talk about. There are currency tokens. So currency tokens are like the Bitcoin. They're like trading gold when there's not much and there's not a lot of value apart from what people think that they're worth, but they're just a store of value. You have protocol tokens. That's the code the token usually does something specific with. It's usually baked into the whole process of the blockchain. You have something called exchange tokens. Those are tokens that you'll find usually on like centralized finance platforms like your Binance, Q.E.D, and Crypto.com. They all have their own type of token for their centralized exchange. Then you have even things like stock tokens, which are something I've been learning about recently, which they're just a way of trading value of a stock, but with cryptocurrency. Not always so available in the US, but that's also something, an exciting way to maybe get into traditional finance from a place where you typically can't get into traditional finance. A big one, and this is definitely something that Dope is very knowledgeable about and big into, are the NFTs. So NFT stands for non-fungible tokens. I'm sure he'll break that down some more if he has time. But it's a token that exists on a blockchain that's unique, and it cannot be replaced by another token. So like most fiat currencies, most cryptocurrencies are traded, they're fungible, so they could be replaced. So like you can swap out $1 bill for another $1 bill, and the value of that currency is still going to be the same. So, however, NFTs are a little bit different. So you can't necessarily swap out one NFT for another because they're not identical, right? So they have an element of creativity, and they're really what they are is a piece of art. The creativity kind of makes them unique and a piece of art. So I think one example that you're definitely going to hear about is Axie Infinity and some of the Axies. If you ever have looked at them, or when you learn about Axies and Axie Infinity, you'll see that each one of them are different. They're not the same. They're each a different NFT. Talk briefly about tokenomics here, and then that'll be the last I'll talk about this stuff is tokenomics. So when you're looking at different cryptocurrencies, it's important to understand and read for yourself and understand the tokenomics. And that's just really, that phrase came about from a mix of, it's just token and economics. So things that you should look for when you're investigating and looking at a new cryptocurrency are the value of the token. Usually they're discussed in US dollars or euro, or maybe they're discussed as their value paired against Bitcoin. You want to know about the availability of the supply for a particular cryptocurrency. That's really important. Does it have an unlimited supply? If it has an unlimited supply, that's going to affect the long-term investment of that coin. If it has a very limited supply, of course, then that might affect the price, and the price could shoot up. You want to understand the volume in terms of daily, weekly, and monthly, how much that particular coin is being traded on exchanges throughout the world. You want to look at things called market capitalization. Market capitalization is essentially just how much that coin and that project is worth. It's the number of coins times the value of that coin. So it's the total value of that cryptoverse for that coin. Question?
I want to ask a question. If not, kindly mute your mic, please. Thank you.
Okay.
And we will have a Q&A portion at the end as well.
Absolutely. So something else you want to think about under tokenomics is, who holds the crypto, and, how much and like what percentages. So crypto is for us to invest in, obviously make money, but also for those projects and companies, they use it to raise money in exchange, and then they grow their projects or they grow other things. So, who's investing in that coin? That's always useful information to know. How much are they invested? How much how much they hold? When do they get to sell it? These are all important things to take into consideration when looking at a particular coin. And often you can get this information from what are known as white papers for cryptocurrency. So if you go to a particular crypto project, usually to their website, you'll be able to find a white paper. You got to read through it and get down to the nitty gritty of it, but you'll actually see that information there typically. The idea of burning tokens, burning tokens, if a company burns tokens, it's literally taking those tokens, all those tokens in its universe, and taking them out of circulation. So if you have the same level of demand for a token with fewer coins, then the price of that existing coin should go up. So you want to look out for those things. All that's information that you can use to better understand whether or not a token might be a good token to buy and invest in. The way you also want to look for new tokens, sometimes you'll see something called ICOs or IDOs. Those are initial coin offerings or initial DEX offerings. And those are ways for crypto projects to issue cryptocurrencies to earn money for investing in the project and whatever else they like. So for example, Axie Infinity would have issued their AXS token in order to grow their projects to what it is now. Cardano, or most of these other coins have had some sort of initial offering where they offered up the coin to the cryptoverse, and that's how they grow. That's how they grow their projects, but that's also opportunities to get in and make a lot of money in the beginning in a particular project if you like it. That was just a quick survey of some things about cryptocurrency. So I'll let you take it over, Dope, or I'll talk about a few other things if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Logic. Appreciate that. Anyone have any questions before I continue on about whatever what Logic was saying?
There's a few questions.
There's a lot.
Yes,
I suggest that maybe we should save them for the Q&A period, because there are a number of questions coming in. So let's let you get through your presentation first, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't have necessarily a PowerPoint presentation. I was just going to take it more real world to kind of piggyback off of what Logic was talking about. So let's do that. I'm just going to share my screen here. Let me find the right one to share. 1 second here.
What the heck?
Let's see here. Okay. It's this one here. Okay. Yeah, maybe one can see this here. Okay, you good? All right. So this as far as cryptocurrency is concerned, this website right here is pretty much where I spend probably 60, 70, 80% of my time. Okay. This here is called coinmarketcap.com. One thing that I see a lot of when I am in various message boards and on Twitter and just looking at things that beginners of cryptocurrency often ask about is, you know, how do you find the coins, where they're located at, how and where do you purchase the coins, where are you guys getting all this market cap information from, things of that nature. And that one-stop shop, well, there are a couple of places, but one of the major one-stop shops is coinmarketcap.com. Okay. So and you guys can feel free to follow along if you wish on your computers as well. But this website here pretty much has all of the cryptocurrencies that's in existence. Well, not all of them. Some of them are on a different website as well. But by and large, the majority of them are here on this website. And it usually ranks by market cap from top to the bottom. And as you can see here, currently Bitcoin is still ranked #1. And that's one of the reasons for that is that that was the first cryptocurrency, and it's pretty much the granddaddy of them all. And so we can just go through this and just take a look and see what information we can glean from this. Obviously, we have the name of the crypto, the ticker symbol, current trading price, its 24-hour and 7-day percentage, if it's up or down. Right now, we are in an up pattern with Bitcoin, its market cap, and its volume in circulating supply. Now, one thing I'll note is, because sometimes you cannot find this market cap number, but how they come up with that number is basically they are just multiplying the circulating supply times the price, the current price of that token, okay? And then if you multiply those together, you'll come up with a number that is fairly close to its market cap. Now, it's not always 100% accurate as far as what they're showing here, but you'll get fairly close to what we're showing here. So let me just delve into Bitcoin real quick. Okay. So as I said earlier, one of the things that is comes up fairly often with new beginners of cryptocurrency is, well, where and how do I purchase said cryptocurrency? Okay, all of that information, let me go back one time, is underneath in, like I said, coinmarketcap.com. You go into the token itself. You go into market, which is this tab down here. And here you will see all of the centralized and decentralized exchanges as far as where you can purchase this cryptocurrency. So we have Binance, Coinbase, FTX, Gate.io, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And along with the trading pairs as far as the currency that you would need in order to get the Bitcoin token. So for instance, this particular Binance, they want you to use USDT, which is a stable coin, to get this particular Bitcoin. This one, they want you to use Binance's stable coin, which is BUSD, and et cetera, down the line. So basically you would come here, you would choose whichever exchange that you currently have your current tokens in, or that you have signed up for. Like for myself, I have a Coinbase account, I have a Gate.io account, I have Kraken, so I can use any of these to actually purchase the cryptocurrency. Okay. Let me continue on here. I want to show this off here. Logic spoke about the blockchain earlier, and it's kind of one of the harder, sometimes it's one of the harder concepts to think of or to understand from a new beginner standpoint. So, and I like to do it from a visual standpoint. So this website here is basically showing the Ethereum blockchain, okay? And all a blockchain is, well, at its base layer, you could think of just a blockchain as a spreadsheet with a bunch of numbers on it. But all it is the buses are basically miners, or yeah, basically blockchain miners, okay? These are the transactions coming from each, let me just put this on mute, coming from each of the various tokens. So you have MetaMask, you have, I think this is Tezos, OpenSea, I think some other Sushi Swap wearable. So basically, anytime you or anyone else in the world does a transaction utilizing one of these tokens, or this is Axie right there, of course, that transaction goes off into the blockchain, okay? And this basically is the blockchain as far as where your transaction lives, okay? You pay your fee, and that fee is represented by these buses here, okay? And basically this miner, this exchange miner is saying, I need 161 Gwei in order for me to take your transaction and drop it off over here, okay? So in order for me to take your Axie Infinity, let's say you want to purchase an Axie, right? You purchase that NFT, you have to then send your money onto one of the miners or one of the buses, and then pay your fee. And over here is that it'll drop it off onto your wallet. So that way now you have your Axie or your NFT or your token or whatever the case is. And so I just find that to be an easy representation of, as far as a base layer, what blockchain really is. Okay. So let's move on here. Hit some of the other hot topics that are happening around currently. Everyone has heard of NFTs, non-fungible tokens, okay? And it's kind of what one of the basis of Axie Infinity, okay? At its base layer, a token is, an NFT is basically a JPEG. You know, we're just trading around JPEGs in the manner of Axie Infinity. Those JPEGs have all of the NFTs have a monetary value to them that we currently have. But all it really is truly a JPEG. What separates an NFT from a just your regular picture is the fact that this is a verifiable, there's verifiable ownership based around this particular token. Let me go into the crypto box. This is the most popular NFT. This CryptoPunk, yes, it is just a picture here, but it's a verify. I can verify that this, whoever this person is, owns this CryptoPunk. Okay. And so what this is at base layer, yes, it is just a JPEG, but what will eventually happen is, think of things like real estate, for instance, okay, or a car, or whatever the case may be, okay? So if there is a picture of the title of your car, or a picture of the title for your house, whatever the case may be, if that information is stored on a blockchain, that is what a 100% verifiable ownership of that asset, okay? And no one can steal it from you. Yeah, and sure, I can go over here and right click, save as image, and download it. But if someone were to go and look up, okay, who actually owns this particular CryptoPunk number 9405, my address would not come up, okay? And so when I say address, let me show this to you here. Like I said, all of this stuff lives on the blockchain. And that's why it's kind of so profound. So this is the contract address here. Let me go into here real quick. If I can remember. Ah, there it is right there. So this particular, let me get this thing out the way. Okay, so unless this address here, I think it's this one here, matches up with my own cryptocurrency address, and we all have it. If you are trading in crypto, as long as it is not a centralized exchange, then you will have a cryptocurrency address. I have multiple addresses myself. But unless that CryptoPunk lines up with my address, then it's not mine. And so that's why people think that this will be a game changer, especially in those parts of the world where records are easily lost, you know, due to fire, due to theft, whatever. None of that can happen when it's on the blockchain. Once it's there, it's there, okay? And it can't be tampered with as long as that particular blockchain is in a decentralized manner. The sorry about that, someone's asking me a question. Yeah, and so that is the basis of NFTs, and people are pretty much just trading it as money right now for the most part. It's one of the asset classes within cryptocurrency that's not only is fun, but it's probably one of the most lucrative asset classes within cryptocurrency that you can start to invest in. But it's also the easiest way to lose your money, okay? I have several cryptocurrencies that I'm down in right now. And it is an illiquid asset. And what that means is you may not be able to resell it, or at least you may not be able to resell it for the price that you purchased it for. It's just like any other hard asset that's out there. You buy a car on Monday for $10,000 or whatever, you drive it off the lot, and now it could be worth $8,000. You may not be able to resell it for $10,000. Okay, so you know, just do your due diligence. And I should probably say, because I did not say this at the beginning, but I am not a financial advisor. Anything I say or do on this should not be taken as financial advice. let's see, I think that is it for me. Let me see here. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to touch on. Logic mentioned white papers. And I see this very often with new beginners in cryptocurrency, where people are investing in assets that they know absolutely nothing about. Okay. And that's a quick way to getting yourself wrecked or losing your money. If you're going to be investing in something, then I would employ you to take the time to read that project's white paper. Okay. And you can easily find this information. Well, sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't easy. But let's take, for instance, I don't know. Let's take Solana, for instance. I don't know if it's going to be on here now. Okay. You want to purchase Solana? The white paper for the Solana is right here, once again, on coinmarketcap.com. Okay. Once again, this website is your lifeline for your cryptocurrencies. You click here, and it's not that you're going to read the white paper and understand everything that's about that is stated in it, because a lot of it can really get into the weeds and get very, very, very technical. This is not actually a good one to look in, because Solana's white paper is extremely technical because it's a major blockchain. So let me just pick a different one here. Let's look at Axies. Right. And so in reading this, you're not going to understand every single word for word, but you at least want to understand things like, okay, what's their mission? What's the vision that they have for the product? If it's a game, you probably want to understand, okay, what is the gameplay aspects? How do I make money with this? Things of that nature. All of this would be important to you if you are going to be playing the game. And then everyone should be looking at the tokenomics of the, should want to look at the finances of that said project, because you want to understand, okay, when and how do I make money with this? Oh, here it is right here, actually. This is the part that's important right here. All right, because what happens is token comes out, it's the brand new coin, everyone is FOMOing into it. I love it, I want to have it. And this is where people get wrecked, because what happens is when a token, this is why tokenomics is very important. When a coin is released, it is first released to, they usually do private sales first and foremost to venture capitalists, people of that nature, and anyone can be a venture capitalist. I could be one. Godwin can be one, Q.E.D, Logic, any of us, if we're getting on the private round. All right, so we put our money in there before the token is even released to the public, okay? So this is before it ends up on CoinMarketCap, okay? And we may have purchased Axie Infinity at $5 in the private round, okay? And that's where these allocations come from. All right. Oh, here we go right here. All right. During the private round, they released 10 million tokens in the private round, okay? So 4% of the supply was already gone before you, the general public, purchased yours. And we may have purchased it at $1, okay? And so you may, once it gets released to the public, it may get released at $10. Okay, and then that's when you guys start to purchase it here. While we have already purchased it at $1. So what happens is these are vesting periods, and this is going to be the last thing I'll talk about. These are vesting periods as far as when the private sales can release their tokens. Okay, and so if I have 1 million tokens and I sell them all, that's going to cause if I sell them all on month 6, that's going to cause that token to drop significantly. Okay. So you just have to really be mindful as far as, okay, when are the token releases going to happen, things of that nature. And I won't get any further into it than that. That's all I have for right now. Thanks.
All right, thanks so much, Dope. I mean, did a wonderful presentation. Felt like I'm learning all over again, especially the visualization of the blockchain. Like I've never seen it visually. I always explain and try to have a mental representation of it, but this is the first time I'm actually seeing a graphic presentation of it, and I'm very excited about that. Yeah, so thanks so much, Dope and Logic Q. Yeah, so we've come to the end of the presentations, and I'm just going to chip in a little here. I mean, the last part you're talking about, I believe we're going to have a whole non-fungible token session where we go in depth into it. We have about 7 more sessions to go through. So every week we'll keep putting out the calendar, and we hope more people join and learn a lot. So yeah, so the last session you take, I just want to chip in here. I'm with Merit Circle. It's a decentralized autonomous organization, and this is the first time I'm seeing them. It's the first time I'm actually experiencing a token launch. Like I've heard about coins, I've bought coins and tokens, but it's the first time I'm actually experiencing the whole process of a token being launched. And as you mentioned, some have a private sale first, but for Merit Circle, it's all going to be public at first. So, and it's going to be open for the public at the same time. So that's how the coin will get its value. So it's not financial advice, but I hope you can look into it, and those who are interested in investing. And I believe this is what the session is all about. I believe Q.E.D will say more on this, and want to know how we can convert, since some of us are first-time crypto users, and our first interaction with cryptocurrency was through SLP, Smooth Love Potion, where we are virtually farming them from the game. And what most of my players do currently, they liquidate the SLP to the local currency, to CDs, Kwacha, or Naira. That's what we do currently. But we're trying to see how we can maximize our SLP. For me, for instance, my AXS is staked. And the last 30 days, I was doing my analysis, I think 2 days ago. For the last 30 days, I had about a 70% plus profits, which translated to about $30 thereabout. So my stake AXS gave me $30 without me doing anything. So these are the kind of opportunities we're looking for as we farm SLP. And I believe this is what this series of sessions is going to help us achieve as we go along. So yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to answer some questions, and going to hand over to Q.E.D right now as well. Yeah.
Well, hello, everyone. I would ask you if you're not muted and you're not talking, if you could just mute yourself. I think someone may have their mic open and we're hearing it. But this was a really great session, and it's a pleasure to meet you all. I know some of you are scholars, and of course, I believe Iola is one of our managers, and I personally feel like this class like this, and the classes like this that we intend to continue having, is really the most valuable thing that we can do, even beyond the scholarships, in terms of sharing whatever knowledge that we may have with you, in hopes of doing, as Godwin said at the beginning, kind of building a bridge and hopefully working towards financial empowerment. You know, I will say a couple words before we leave, but I want to go ahead and have a Q&A session for about 5 or 10 minutes. And so there's a few questions in the chat. If you would like, you can drop more in there. One thing that people asked is if the video is being recorded, and the answer is yes, and that we will share that with you. if you registered, and then we have your contact information. And if you're one of our scholars or even applicants or students of Godwin, basically, as long as we have your contact, you'll be able to see it. So there was a question that was actually answered in the chat, which was whether Ethereum was a currency or a blockchain or both. And the answer was that Ethereum is a blockchain while Ether is a currency. And I will give this question to Logic and Q.E.D. And let me tell you, both of your presentations are really amazing. I mean, such valuable information that I wish I had, and I'm sure you guys wish you had when you were entering the space. You know, we kind of learned whatever we learned by trial and error. And so it's great to be able to kind of pay that forward. But the question is, why do some coins have unlimited supply and some don't?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's based on the coin creators policy and what they want to do. And again, that goes to the tokenomics. I would tend to, I mean, based upon what I understand, I would tend to not to stray away from coin, or to steer away from some coins that have an unlimited amount of coins that they're going to actually make. But it maybe depends on why they're creating and what they're creating. So there could be situations. It's really based upon what the creators want to do. It's really a set of code. It's a policy that determines what you get to do. So for example, Bitcoin, most people know, is limited and will be limited to creating 21 million Bitcoins. There's not going to be any more. Once they get to 21 million, eventually it will cease. Some other creator of a coin might choose to do something different. Maybe Dope, you got some other thoughts on that and why it might be good or bad?
Yeah, no, I mean, you hit it on the head. As far as why, that is up to the prerogative of the creator of that token. You'll see that a lot of times if a project has like a 2-token system, where, for instance, like Axie, and I don't know what the circulating supply of it, but Axies, they have the AXS token, and then they have the Smooth Love Potion token. And I am going to wager that if I look up the Smooth Love Potion, actually it's a smaller market cap.
SLP for short. SLP.
Yeah, SLP is
SLP.
not,
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. And so a lot of times you'll see that when they are intending for a token to be utilized not for finance or gain, but for some type of, utility or something of that nature within a game or something of that nature. Or if a token was meant as something like a joke, like a meme coin or something of that nature. With Shiba Inu, right? They have, trillions of tokens that they created. And so what they'll have to do, in order to gain some value, they'll have to do something like a burning mechanism or something of that nature. But yeah, it's up to the prerogative of the owner of the project.
I think Shiba is actually capped at, but the cap is so high, 4 quadrillion.
Right, exactly.
So
and they're going to be introducing some burning.
These are the kind of things that that Dope and Logic are pointing out that you want to start paying attention to even before you invest, just to become aware of these different factors. And it leads to the next question, which is when does a private token sale happen, and can you expound in depth on the tokenomics? This question is directed to Dope. I guess it's really for either one of you. And in terms of in depth, I don't think we have time to do much in depth because we're wrapping up. But if you would like to just say a few words on that. The question is, when does a private sale happen?
Yeah.
It would be beforehand.
So yeah, yeah. I mean, it. And you want to answer, Logic? Or you want me to?
No, I'll let you get it. Actually, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so the private sale usually happens beforehand, before the token is released to the public. That's with cryptocurrency, that's with the stock market, whichever, as far as when that happens. And a lot of times you may not even hear about it until it's over and done with, to be honest. As far as going in depth on it, can't really go in depth as Q.E.D has said, but what I will say is, do not just look at the price of a token in determining if it is cheap or not. That is absolutely wrong way of looking about it. If you look at something like a Cardano or ADA, the price itself for the token is small. I mean, it's, what is it, like $2 or something of that nature? It's $1.98, right? But if you look at the market cap of ADA, and this is utilizing coinmarketcap.com again, the market cap of Cardano is $65 billion, which means that it's going to take an astronomical amount of money entering or purchasing Cardano in order for that price of $2 to move, okay? Whereas you may have another, let me pull up this one ticker real quick, called Wonderland, or the ticker symbol is Time. That price is $7,000 for one token, but the market cap is only $393 million dollars. So and the good thing about cryptocurrency is that you do not focus on purchasing one token. Okay, you can purchase, if you have $1,000, you can purchase yourself some Wonderland Time, even though the whole price is $7,000. You will just be owning a seventh, or a percentage of one of the time tokens. Your cost basis will go up as the ticker price goes up. So don't focus on just cost, look at market cap as well. That's it.
Okay.
That's the basis of tokenomics.
And can NFT be transferred from one person to another? Yes, they can be. And the question comes in, when searching for a coin to invest in, is fundamental analysis or technical analysis, which do you think is essential? So technical would be looking at charts and momentum and things like that, regression analysis, and fundamentals would be looking at what the enterprise or the project actually does, whether it's gaming or whatever the case may be, and what the outlook for the business is, and what you think is going to happen in the future, and things like that. Would you like to take that, Logic?
Yeah, I'll say what I do know about that is that I think if early on we're talking about tokenomics and things like that, you're definitely going to be more concerned with fundamentals, because essentially you don't have a history of performance maybe. But if you're getting into something that's more established and it's had its run in the market, it's going up and down. This is me personally, the way I think. I'm going to look more at technical analysis. I'm big on buying in dips and things like that, and watching patterns, momentum, things that Q.E.D was saying like that. So I don't think it's just a straightforward answer. I think it kind of depends on what stage. And of course you want to do both ultimately. Nothing beats having information and knowing the facts in particular situations. So that's what I would say.
Okay, thank you for that question and answer. And this is a good question. How can you play it safe from scams regarding the surge in NFTs? With all the NFTs we see around, well, will all the NFTs we see around be later worth it? The answer to that is no, they will not all be later worth it, for sure. I'm concerned that hundreds of NFTs are being minted every day. Should we be worried about how the whole industry will turn out come 5 or 10 years? And I'll give that to Dope, who's spoken about NFTs already.
Yeah, I mean, just like you just said, Q.E.D, will all the NFTs be around? Absolutely not. If I could show you my NFT wallet right now, I have several in it where I may have purchased at, I don't know, 0.3 ETH, and they may be worth 0.001 ETH now. You should be worried when you look at an NFT if it will be around, but not all NFTs are meant to be around in 5 or 10 years. Some are meant to just make money now. Point, straight up. I have a couple of NFTs where I don't want to sell. And then I have several NFTs, like for instance, so if you purchase an NFT from an artist, you're probably not going to sell it. If I purchase, but if it's something that I'm just going to flip, then that's what it's meant for. It's just for flipping. So but to answer your question, no to the first part, and yes, you should be worried for the second part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Q.E.D, I believe we're going to have an in-depth NFT session, a session dedicated just to NFT. Yeah.
Yes. And we'll just answer this one last question, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. And as was just said, this is the first and not the last. And we kept it narrow this time, so we would have people who are in our closest circle first, and then we will make it more widely available later. But the question, there's two, I guess we will take them. Meaning of the metaverse. Who wants to take that one? Logic.
I'll take a stab at that. Man, woo! The metaverse. The metaverse is a big deal right now. And somebody can give me their definition if they don't agree. But it's essentially what the metaverse is to me. It is everything in the virtual world. Is the potential for things to exist virtually. So whereas I'm here, I have this computer, I have this camera in front of me. That's all a tangible physical realm. The metaverse is really the idea that entire worlds are being created. For example, Axie Infinity. You have the ability to create property, to create land, property, things, axes, and all these things mean something. The metaverse and that idea of that being promoted is the acknowledgement that we're no longer in that period of life in humanity where we are obsessed with what is tangible. It is really, if you can wrap your brain around the metaverse and understand and see where it's going, you can make a lot of money. You can do a lot of good things, because it's just the idea that things will no longer exist solely in the tangible realm. It means that companies, people will acknowledge all of these things that are out there on the internet electronically that we cannot touch. That's the best definition I can give. It's just really virtual existence of other things that we can use and interact with, that can be traded. They will be connected to each other. Eventually the worlds will be connected and things will be able to move just as they move in the real world right now. So it's really amazing.
And I would just kind of piggyback on that and say that the explosion in cryptocurrency in general and the interest in the metaverse now is really, they're trends that already existed, but they've been accelerated by the pandemic. The fact that we are here now having this call, we probably wouldn't have met. I mean, we definitely wouldn't have met, the three of us, and we wouldn't have connected with Godwin, Ayola, and all of you. Probably not in the same way if it weren't for the technology being forced into the technology or accelerated into it because of the constraints. We're not going to have time to answer this last question because it's too vast. It could be another whole class. how to read a cryptocurrency
yeah.
chart.
I'll drop
That's a whole
that
class.
could be a
Yeah.
series. That could be a year of classes.
I'll drop a YouTube. I'll drop a YouTube.
Perfect.
Someone you can look at.
Okay.
And I'll drop the link of it.
Okay. And we will be continuing these classes. And I just want to thank everyone for attending and thank the presenters and the moderator for doing such a great job with it. And I look forward to doing it again soon. It's a pleasure to meet all of you, and hope to meet you in person one day. Okay. So thank you, and we'll sign off for now. We will be making the recording available, and we will be in touch with you about future classes, which we will be having. Okay.
Okay. Does anyone
Yeah,
want to say
just check-
anything? Go ahead, anyone speak. I don't know, maybe someone say something.
Yeah.
Unmute yourself and say something.
Yeah.
Marshall Agri, I think that's from Kenya.
Okay.
Marshall, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm so blessed to be part of this meeting, and I've learned a lot. And I believe that it's the beginning of me knowing even how to involve in this cryptocurrency world and the technology that is now taking over the tangible world. And I'm looking forward for better meetings and more knowledge to surge on. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Marshall.
Thank you. And if anybody else would like to make a closing comment as well, we'd welcome that.
Hello guys.
Hello.
Hi, Sheriff. Hi.
Hello. Hi. I just want to appreciate you guys. Thank you for making time for us. Really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure.
So that young kids, who's that? Who's young kids? Young keys.
Yeah,
Where are you from? Sheriff is from Nigeria. Where are you from?
From Uganda. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Marshall, please mute. Marshall, please mute your mic. Marshall, mute your mic.
I got it.
Keys. Sheriff, also mute
I'm
your
here.
mic, please.
Yeah.
Go
Someone
ahead.
has music
Something?
going.
Yeah?
Someone has music in the background. Please mute.
I think we're losing him. Okay. I think that'll be all. Oh. Yeah, Young, go
Hello,
and say
can you
something.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is actually Nicholas Young. I'm currently living in Uganda, and I've been watching videos from YouTube about cryptocurrency, and I was a bit confused. I was not able to wrap up my mind or my head around the whole topic about cryptocurrency. But spending this 1 hour with you guys and listening to you presenting and showing us the presentation and the visual presentation has quite brought my understanding to a clear path. And I'm looking forward for such wonderful time to expound my knowledge on cryptocurrency. Personally, I want to learn more because I want to enter into this world of investing and knowing more on about the metaverse. So I thank you so much for your time. I took my notes. I'll be waiting for the video so that I can recap and go through one more time, understand more and more. So thank you so much, Godwin, Q.E.D, Logic. You guys, you have made my mind awaken today. So yeah.
Thank you, Nicholas. Are you from Gulu or from where are you from in Uganda?
Entebbe.
Entebbe.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Entebbe, yeah. Famous city with Indian Army. Is it Indian Army, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Midland of Uganda. Awesome.
That's the
Awesome.
one. Yep. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Young Keys. And we will.
Sharif seems to have the last question.
Yeah.
I don't know what Sharif wants to say. Sharif, come on, please. Sharif Dean from Nigeria.
I'm here. Well done, guys. I'm Sharif from Nigeria. I really want to appreciate you guys for this session. I think this is what most of us lack here. We lack the thorough knowledge of cryptocurrency before we venture, so which makes most of us get our fingers burnt. So I really look forward to more of this conversation to further expose knowledge, because take a very good decision before getting into cryptocurrency. Thanks to Q.E.D, Dope, Logic, IQ, and my boss, Godwin. I really appreciate. I really appreciate.
All right, thank you very much, Sharif.
Yeah, thank you, Sharif. Well, that was beautiful. We have, at least as far as I counted, five countries represented. If you Uganda, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, and us in the U.S. And there may be others as well, but it's a beautiful start to what I think will be a continuing process, and we look forward to speaking with you all again soon. Okay, the next date is to be announced.